What up, folks? Once again, it's your boy Tim with another ride sharing video. Now, as you can see, I'm indoors. I just got through completing a streak bonus. Like I said, I do not drive for anything remotely close to base fares, but they offered a streak bonus in conjunction with an earnings guarantee. So it certainly is profitable compared to the shit they normally offer, which, like I stated, I do not touch at base fare. But I want you to hear something because you see what the video is titled. After completing my trips, coming indoors and looking at my email, check this shit out. I want to know if any of you guys have received something like this. Now, it's titled Poor Passenger Experiences on Your Recent Rides. Now, I haven't driven for a few weeks, so I haven't had but a handful of recent rides today. So I'm trying to figure out where the hell this is coming from, and I'll let you know in the comments what I think. The bullet points. Number one, canceling too often. Now, as you see below that, they claim that unless you have an emergency or a safety concern, you should try to complete every ride you accept. What about when they throw shit in the queue? If you're driving with passenger A and all of a sudden the app goes off, you get a certain period of time before they automatically bestow upon you another ride. You didn't accept that shit. It was forced upon you. So if after you drop off a passenger, and I'll tell you what I normally do, after I dropped off the passenger, if I look at that trip they threw in queue and it's bullshit, it's not profitable, I'm going to cancel it every damn day. I'm an independent contractor. I don't have to do shit that's not profitable. So canceling a trip that I never officially accepted should not count as canceling a damn trip. Have you had that happen? Now, I know some folks suggest turning off the ability to even accept new trips while you're on one. But I was in a streak bonus, and I don't want to screw with shit while I'm in a streak bonus, because if you do that, then they take away the whole damn bonus. Next bullet point, asking passengers to cancel. I haven't done this in a while, but when it comes to driving and ride sharing, occasionally I am guilty as charged. Asking passengers to cancel, what the hell is that? According to them, you're contacting some of your passengers after accepting their ride request, leading them to cancel. Unless there's an emergency, try to complete every ride you accept. Now, I'm going to give you my spiel. Maybe some of you have a similar situation. Let me know in the comments. I have an airport that serves my city. Most of us do. Well, we have a sister city, similar to, say, a Minneapolis, St. Paul type deal, or, anywhere you got Washington, D.C. and Baltimore, where you got two cities being served by one airport. And if you're in one city, driving to the other city may result in you being either stuck there or having to drive back empty at your own expense. I said in all my videos, I do not drive outside my own damn area unless I know it's going to be profitable. And in my case, in my market, you do not get trips back from that other sister city. So if I get an airport trip in my app, I called the passenger and I asked them, are you coming to my city or are you going to the other city? If they're going to the other city, I often will tell them, sorry, I do not go there. Cancel the trip and they'll send you another driver that will go there. Now, clearly, the ride-sharing apps can detect shit like that. They are watching for the passengers receiving a phone call and then canceling right after. Now, as I stated in all my damn videos, the only way you're going to make profit in this business is to cherry pick rides and know what the hell not to take and what is not profitable. But we're not the only ones that know a lot of this shit does not result in profit. Uber and Lyft knows it as well. They have detected our strategies to try to avoid unprofitable shit, and then they threaten to punish us if we implement those strategies. Because at the end of the day, every single ride you complete for Uber or Lyft, whether it is profitable for you or not, will always be profitable for Uber or Lyft. So they don't want you turning down a damn thing. But for you, you may take a trip somewhere, and when they get out the vehicle, you might feel like you just got jerked off, which is the title of this damn video. Whereas you are being demanded to do something that you do not want to do, you're not profiting from it, and the ride-sharing company is making all the money. I'm from Chicago. What does that sound like? Sounds like pimping to me. Sounds like you being pimped, where you're being forced to do some shit you do not want to do for somebody else to take all the damn money. Sounds like pimping. I understand it may sound ridiculous, the description may be laughable, but how many of you, after doing a trip, maybe it was a long distance trip, and when the passenger got out the vehicle and you seen how much you earned, you felt like a hoe? I mean, serious. I understand my terminology may be a bit brash, but how many of you have completed a trip and when you seen what you got paid, you just felt demoralized? Literally like a woman laying there with the damn sheet over her, like, what the hell did I just engage in? That's what I'm talking about. Being pimped in ride sharing. Ride sharing pimps. You got to avoid shit that's not profitable. By the way, folks, appreciate the participation you guys have been showing your boy in the comments, showing your boy some love. Subscribe to the damn channel. That's what we do here. This is what we talk about. And as always, a lot of these videos end up being watched by newer drivers and new prospective drivers. So my veteran drivers, shout out to you when you put your comments in, because you can be helping new drivers not make these go through the same bullshit that a lot of us experience, and, you know, make life better for somebody else. Because a lot of us that got into this often state, I wish I had somebody that could tell me this, that, or that was bullshit, or not to trust them on that, or that didn't mean that. It sucks that you have to learn oftentimes by unprofitable experience. Here's the last bullet point. Not driving towards your passenger. I have done that before as well. It's been a while, it's been some months, but in regards to what they mean by not driving towards your passenger, in their description, lately too many passenger cancellations have occurred because you don't make progress towards the pickup location. Remember to start driving to the pickup location once you accept a ride. So I guess if you're taking a piss or a shit or something like that, you're not driving fast enough. Like I said, this is pimping at its finest, folks. Rideshare pimping. But in regards to not driving towards your passenger, once again, I have done it before. You know why? Because of the previous damn bullet point where they're saying you're asking passengers to cancel. If I got a trip at an airport, or I know I'm picking up somebody that wants to go somewhere I do not want to take them, if I can't call them and tell them not to cancel, then I just will not progress to their ass until they do. And I have done that before. Airport trips in my location, probably 70 to 80% of them are going to a different town about 40 miles away, and the airport is already 10 miles away from my metropolitan area. So I got to drive outside of my area just to get to the airport, and then when I pick up a passenger, now they're going 30 miles even further south, even further away from my town. So what I have done in my market, now this may not work in your market, this may not be applicable, I get that, but there may be locations you do not want to go to as well. Feel free to state in the comments. I do not do airport trips because that is most likely to be the scenario where they're going to want to go away from me and end up leaving me with a 40-mile return trip that is completely at my own damn expense. So when I get airport trips, I used to phone them, ask them where they were going, but since rideshare companies do not like that shit, I will pause the vehicle, and if I got time, I'll go have lunch or whatever till that passenger cancels. You should not be forced to do all of this shit. You should just simply be able to state in the app or let the ride sharing companies know, I would rather not go to that sister city. I would rather not go to an airport. If you were a true independent driver, this is some shit you would easily be able to do. If you have your own independent contracting plumber business, or you shovel snow or do lawn care for a living, you could easily say, I'm not dealing with customers in that town, or I'm not going 40 miles away to do a plumbing job. These are provisions that an independent contractor should easily be able to make. But because they're pimping us out and treating us like hoes, you can't have that option. This is the type of shit that is probably going to one day lead to Uber and Lyft facing more lawsuits in the future from the Labor Department in regards to mislabeling drivers as independent contractors when they're treating them like employees. No one should be able to tell you where you have to go or what you have to pick up. If you feel a job is unprofitable, You shouldn't have to do it. It's as simple as that. Whereas they're threatening to fire you. This, like I said, is exactly what I would refer to as pimping, where you got to do some shit you do not want to do, and if you don't, you're going to get punished. This is the equivalent of a ride-sharing backhand slap, a pimp slap. They should not be able to do this. But let me know in the comment section, have any of you folks, any of you veteran drivers out there received some shit like this, where you were threatened because you canceled too many rides? My personal assumption is most of you smart drivers have certainly received this, because if you're not canceling trips, you're not making any damn money. You have to cherry pick in this market, in this business rather. You have to cherry pick trips to make sure you're maximizing your profits. If you take every trip that comes down the app, you're going to lose money. A lot of those trips don't pay shit. We all know that. You do not have to drive for Uber or Lyft but one damn day to realize a lot of these trips, I'm not making any money off of it. Or as I stated before, passenger gets out of your car and you literally look at the app and you feel like a hoe. So to prevent that, what have you done? What have you seen? Have you seen this come across like this notice I received today? And I didn't cancel anyone. So this is not in relation to somebody making a phone call or emailing the ride-sharing company. This is them proactively paying attention to what you do as a driver, because they know the trips are not profitable. They know a lot of them are not. And you would best believe they know the tricks we're using to try to avoid unprofitable rides. And to prevent you from doing it, they're threatening to pimp slap you. Have any of you, in addition to being threatened to be removed from the app, like it says here, and by the way, if I can get my screen, what it's telling me here is these bullet points that they stated, these put your driver account at risk and violate the Lyft terms of service. Remember, this is some shit you don't have the option to turn down. Their terms of service, even though you're an independent contractor, you have to do things their way or they can fire you. That's not an independent contractor. That's an employee. Remember that you can review feedback at any time in the driver's app. Who gives a shit about that? But have you received this? And I guess the final question I would ask is, has anybody ever actually been terminated from the app for canceling trips? Like permanently terminated. I understand if you cancel enough trips, they will log you out or some shit like that. I've heard of folks saying it took them an hour or two to be able to log back in and things like that. But permanently removed from being able to do Lyft or Uber rides simply because you were turning down unprofitable rides. Have you actually heard the company go that far with anybody out there? Have you heard of anybody who were permanently removed? As always, subscribe to the channel, show your boy some love, click on the notification bells, and I'll see you in the next video.